This story, I mean, it was kind of a crazy story. I'll try to do it as quick as I can, but...
Take your time, man. I got old day.
So, I'm a military combat veteran, 12 years active duty. My last tour in Iraq was rough. I'm sure there's more casualties with other units, but what we saw and what happened, and without going too deep because I get emotional, it's rough.
Yeah.
Really screwed me up bad. So when I came home, drugs, alcohol, and sex addiction. I mean, I always say the three best ways to cope is drugs, alcohol, and pornography because they numb you completely. Like, they just help you check out. But it's also the three most destructive. So I got heavy into opiates, benzos, alcohol, and they ended up putting me on recruiting duty, which was probably like a death sentence for me. Because I'm already having a hard time with what I saw and what I did over there. And then all of a sudden, when you say now put kids in boots in a time of war, this is 2005. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm promising kids, no, and telling the parents they're not going to go, they're not going to go. And I'm falsifying police reports. I'm trying to get people in because now you're being judged. I get 2 people in every single month. So it just gets out of control. And I do it very well. Like, I'm a natural salesman. I become the #1 recruiter in the continental United States. But while I'm doing it, I'm selling my soul, right? I'm more drugs, more alcohol, more sex. And I end up getting caught. I had 15 felonies in the DA's office for embezzlement, fraud, and Social Security theft, identity theft.
Wow.
I'm doing all this to get people in. I'm stealing well over $100,000 from the U.S. government. I get caught. I get prosecuted out of service. I end up having my bank account seized. They take my home away from me. I get my cars repossessed. I'm homeless with my 14-year-old daughter. She's 2 at the time. So rock bottom for me. Hey Sam, do you want to grab him?
He's good. So that's the best part.
I hit rock bottom, and my rock bottom wasn't something that looked like rock bottom. It wasn't that day that I was, passed out somewhere I didn't know. That wasn't rock bottom. Rock bottom for me was I'm driving my kid to a daycare that's taking care of her for free and help me out because I'm like hundreds of dollars back because I got no money. I'm trying to get some personal training hustle on the side to try to figure out what I'm going to do with my life. And I look back. It's the dead of summer, and my daughter is sweating because I can't turn the AC on. Because if I turn the AC on, I might run out of gas, and I have no money to put gas in the tank. And like when you see your kid suffer because you're making poor choices in life, that wrecks you. You know what I'm saying? And I realized I need to make a change, and I remember that was kind of when I just cried out. The only thing I knew what to do was to turn to God. And I'm in a house that I'm squatting in. I got a mattress on the floor. It used to be filled with tons of stuff. I had a $7,000 kitchen set that I used to bribe people out when you come to my house, play poker. Like, I want you to know how much everything costs in my house because that shows you that I'm better than you. I mean, like, my identity is what I own.
Yeah.
And we do that nowadays, right? Like Instagram followers.
Oh, absolutely.
YouTube hits. Who you are in the industry, who you know, like that's how you gain your identity. And for me, it was my money, my power, and all that was gone. I'm laying on the ground with a mattress, and I'm crying out, God, like if you can use me for anything in life, like you can have every day. And at that time, I'm a degenerate with a criminal record. I got the DA investigating me. Like nobody's gonna give me a job. My dream was maybe I could like be a janitor for a church. That's what I want to be, just in a place where there's some positive.
Okay.
That's all I'm qualified for. By the grace of God, I ended up getting into a real ministry. Somebody took a shot at me. A year after that, I meet my wife. I got a crappy little apartment. I got a crappy little old squad car with like 300,000 miles on it. Happiest I've ever been in my life. Most satisfied. And to me, the most successful I've ever been.
Okay.
Because I'm no longer just being consumed with all this crap. But the problem was, like, I'm healthy now. I got stuff happening around me that's successful. But I still got all that anger and aggression and all that issues in my head and the PTSD. I need to cope, and I'm not coping. I'm healthy. I'm trying to cope in a healthy way. So I'm like, well, what do I do? And I remember when I was in Iraq, you're old enough, so you remember. I've talked to other kids about this. They don't get it. Remember MD, Muscular Development Magazine?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so
I
got
sell against them. I work for leaders.
So I had Flex, MD, and Iron Man Magazine, and I would get those over in Iraq. That's all we had. So I'm looking through pictures, and I remember the picture. It was Branch Warren at METROFLEX Gym. Per Barnell took the picture. He has the big chains around doing the dips.
Yeah.
And it was like aggressive. I always tell people, he looked, not like I looked, but he looked like I felt inside. I was like this pissed off, angry dude. I had all the trauma from our time overseas, plus I was molested for 5 years as a teen, and I hadn't dealt with that yet. So I got all this stuff. I'm angry. I want to stomp somebody in the face. And what ends up happening is I go, I need to find an outlet through the gym. Fitness is gonna be my outlet. All they have around me in walking distance, I don't have a car no more, was an Anytime Fitness. So I go to Anytime Fitness and I'm throwing weights, and I'm screaming, I'm banging, and I'm not trying to do it to be like a douche, gym bro. I just need to get this out.
Yeah.
I got all this fury inside me, and they don't like that so much in the commercial gyms. No. So I was like, man, that gym that I saw in the magazine, that's what I need. But the Midwest didn't have nothing like that at the time. This is 2010, 2009.
Yeah.
So I get this idea. I tell my wife, I'm like, I want to start a ministry, right, where I can reach out to other dudes, like people who have been hit rock bottom, people who have aggression, addictions, insecurities, whatever it might be, that need an outlet. And I want to build a place for them. I want to build a gym that reaches out to people for therapy, other vets, whatever it might be. But we got no money, and I can bench press my credit score. And who would give a guy that looks like this any money on a loan? Like I don't look like anybody you should trust. So I said, man, I don't know how we do it, but I want to build a church that's connected to a gym that kind of reaches out to like maybe veterans in transitional housing. I want to build this thing, and I got this big dream. And I remember, my wife, we sit down at Starbucks one day, and we're like, we gotta make this happen. So I write this 8-page manifesto. I put a little video in there of me talking, speaking, so people don't think I'm a complete idiot,
Yeah.
And we send it out to like 70 celebrities, like people that we think are interested in hard luck stories, charity, that kind of stuff. We get all these famous rejection letters. Nobody wants to roll the dice. And I said, I don't blame them. I sent it to one dude named Brian Dobson.
I know Brian.
Yeah. So I sent it to Brian. And about 6 months later, I'm sitting there at that new job that I got. Things are going well. We got another kid on the way. I'm like, this is, we're in a decent spot. I come into the office, I get that while you were out message. And it says Brian Dobson, METROFLEX Wisco, Texas. And my heart just stops and all my blood rushes to my butt. I'm like, there's no way that's really him. Call him up. And you ever talk to him?
Yeah, of course.
Like, he sounds like a Texas Hulk Hogan, right?
Yeah.
So I pick up the phone, I call the number, and I'm shaking. My hands are shaking. And all of a sudden, the other line, he's like, METROFLEX Gym, this is Brian. And I was like, oh, come on. Like, to me, he's bigger than Ronnie. He's bigger than Branch. He's bigger than Dorian. Like, at my time, if I could, well, that's the thing. Like, people don't know. He's hustling the industry. This guy's the one he's discovering these guys. He's putting them on the map. Like, his gym brought hardcore back to bodybuilding. So, to me, he's here, And I say, hey, this is Kevin. And I'm figuring I got to introduce myself. And he goes, hey, brother, like, yeah, I'm sorry I didn't call you sooner. Like, what are you apologizing? You're Brian. I'm a nobody. So we start talking, and he goes, listen, man, I watched your stuff. I read your manifesto. He goes, I want in. He goes, I want to be part of this. He's like, shut up. He goes, and I think like if more people are in the fitness industry like Brian, this wouldn't be such a filth industry. Because what Brian did was he has every ability to name drop and be egocentric and prideful. He goes, I don't know if you know this, but I got a little gym called METROFLEX. I said, well, yeah, I copied my gym's dream off of yours. Yeah. He goes, I've trained a couple of guys named Ronnie Coleman. He's done well in the Olympia. Like, how humble are you, bro? So he goes, here's the deal, man. I can't give you any money. My money's tied up into other things. He's doing a lot of good work in the community. He goes, but what I'd like to do is I'd like to give you the name for free. I want to give you a METROFLEX. He goes, I haven't done before, but I want to give you everything I have. Pending it's connected to a ministry that's reaching out to people like yourself. I was like, bro, that's all I want to do. Like, I don't want to get rich. I just want to support my family. Like, I've had money, I've had no money. I just want to take care of my family, and I want to help people. So he goes, listen, I'll fly you out to Texas. I want to meet you. Let's do a workout. Let's meet some of the guys. Let's see, if you're legit. So we jump on a plane. We fly down to Texas. Brian picks us up in this crappy little rusty pickup truck. He could probably be driving a Bentley.
Yeah.
And I spent a week training with him, meeting Branch, meeting Ronnie, meeting all the guys. We do street ministry. We're feeding people. He's slaughtering hogs that he shot. We're putting them out to homeless people.
They're really Texas.
It's crazy, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Outside from animals that he's hung and killed. I'm like, this is what I need, So it's all said and done. He's like, all right, Kevin. He goes, you now own METROFLEX. It was a handshake deal, bro. Like, who does that anymore?
He does.
No paperwork, no licensing fees, no franchise fees, no quarterly dues, no annual dues. He just says, it's your name, man. Do what you want. I trust that you're gonna do well with it. So I got this huge gift that comes along with, I think, a huge burden. Like if you buy something, that's cool, it's yours. But when someone bestows something special on you, like you really, the weight of that is like, I don't want to disappoint you. So we come back to Wisconsin, and my wife and I are like, well, it's about to jump off. And then I go, well, crap, man, it still takes like $250,000 to buy equipment. And that's on the low end.
Yes.
We got no money still. So we're sitting here for like, I think like 4 years, just waiting, like, how are we going to do this? Brian would text me, he'd email me, like, Kevin, you still alive? What's going on? And I'm like, what am I supposed to do, bro? I ain't got no money. And then one day, my bride, do you want to grab him? Mwah.
Hi, buddy.
One day she calls me up, and she's freaked out. She goes, I'm at the bank. You need to come to the bank now. Again, my heart stops. I was like, crap. Well, when I got out of the military, and I lawyered up because I found out I was getting brought up on federal charges. The DA called a buddy, called me. I get a good lawyer. He goes, listen, they need you to pay back this money. You pay this back. We can plea bargain with them. I said, yeah, sure, I can come up with it. But they got me off on statute of limitations. But here's the deal. I thought, no, they came back for the money. So I go to the bank. My wife shows me a slip, and there's 6 figures in our bank account. We're paycheck to paycheck people. There's 6 figures in my bank account. I'm like, this isn't our money. So I think it's probably the first time in the history of banking that 2 poor people were arguing with the bank saying, take our money back. Because I'm like, we can't have that. I said, where'd it come from? And they find out the tracking thing. It says federal government. I'm like, yeah, that's not my money. That's what they want from me. Yeah. Like, we can't have this. We're trying to give them this money back. Yeah. Finally, we find out, and this was a trip, bro. Right when a little bit after I got out, I had a friend say, man, you need to file for disability. Like, you're mentally not well. You can't hold down a job. You've been through this. And I'm like, there's veterans without arms. I just have nightmares and cry, like, I'm not messed up.
Yeah.
But I did it anyways, and I found out that was 10 years of back pay.
Whoa. The government actually honored that. That's something the government they don't like giving you money.
Everything about this, Jim, has been a miracle.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Everything about this has been a miracle. The fact that I'm not dead, the fact that I'm not locked up, the fact that we got this, it's all been a miracle. Now, if you've ever been homeless, the first thing you do when you get 6 figures, you go buy a house, cash. So that's what I was going to do. I spent about a month looking at homes. I'm like, I'm buying my family a house. We're never going to be on the street again. And one day I'm coming back, and it just hits me, and I get emotional. I start crying in my car. I'm like, this isn't my money. Like, God gave us this to build this gym. If I don't honor that, like, I'm a liar. So I told my wife, I said, hey, listen, I'm going to do something really stupid, but we're putting all this into the gym. It's still not enough to, it's still not enough to buy everything, but God's going to make a way. Brian says, hey, listen, bro. He goes, I got all my stuff in my gym for like under 10 grand. He goes, it was just a crazy miracle. I stacked all of METROFLEX Arlington for like a couple $1,000. He goes, it'll happen to you someday. So I started looking on Craigslist. I don't know if people still use Craigslist.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if they use it for the stuff you're supposed to use it for. Yeah, there's some stuff on Craigslist.
So I find a gym in Florida, Bradenton, Florida. That's it started in the 80s. And it's a hardcore powerlifting bodybuilding gym. Vintage Nautilus, Monolift, Icarian, Nebula. He's selling the whole thing for 7 G's because he wants out. He's just done. So I call him like, bro, I'll be there tomorrow. He goes, I'm sorry, I got a guy that's already buying it. So I just stopped for a second. I'm like, you know what? We're doing this. I said, this is my gym. I have to get that. I said, I'll give you $21,000, 3 times the amount of cash. I'll be there tomorrow. He goes, you be here tomorrow, you can have it. And he thinks I'm probably full of it. So I remember, dude, I looked at my wife and I said, I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know where I'm going to stay. I don't know how I'm going to get to the gym. I don't know how I'm going to get back. But I'm flying to Florida tonight. Are you down with that? She's like, yeah. So I jump in the truck. I fly out to Florida. I don't know where I'm going to stay. I don't have a hotel. I don't have a shipping company. I don't have containers. I don't have a storage facility. I don't have a building. I spent about a week and a half in Florida just hustling, calling different companies, trying to figure out how can I get movers, how can I get vans. I'm getting semi-trucks from New York coming down to Florida to bring this stuff back up, calling places here in Wisconsin to store my stuff. About a week and a half later, I roll back up with METROFLEX Gym in the back of a whole bunch of semis. And for a year, this whole gym was in storage containers here in Wisconsin as I try to find a building. And we planted this gym in the dumbest city possible. No disrespect to this town.
No, I
this
drove
ain't a
through
big
it.
town, man.
No, it's old school.
Yeah.
I mean, the buildings. What are the houses? 1940s, maybe. 1950s?
Yeah, it's a factory blue collar city.
Yeah.
Everything is.
But that's
is,
Metroflex though.
It is, but like if you want to start a business, you don't start in a place that
is rural.
rural.
Yeah.
Because what we're marketing the 1% of the 1%
Yeah.
of fitness people. I want to be Madison, Milwaukee, and every time we try to find a place, the doors were shut. And I just really feel like this is the community that God called us to, because the people we've met here, I mean, we're the number one spot for heroin as it runs through Chicago up to.
Wow, that makes sense.
So like, it's a messed up community with messed up hurting people, and that's what I want to do is meet those people and build
That's
relationships
insane.
and help them.
That's awesome.
So I've had recovering addicts in here, we've had recovering dealers in here, we've had everything. And it's a blessing that I get to spend my time. Now, we don't make much money here because it's not Milwaukee, Madison. I don't have any solid competitors in my gym. If I was in one of the other cities, sure. But what I do have is I've had broken people come through here that I've been able to minister to and love on and help them find, purpose in their life and coping through fitness. So yeah, we built this place September 2016, and it's just continued to grow. I collect vintage equipment, so I love first gen Nautilus, second gen Nautilus. I'm a huge believer in HIIT training, high intensity training that Art Jones developed with Mike Metzer. Dorian Yates adapted it. So I mean, I've driven all over the U.S. looking at barns, finding little pieces of Nautilus equipment, little gems. So we actually have the largest amount of first gen, second gen Nautilus in the state right now at a commercial gym. So when you go back through, I mean, it's crazy what we have. You can't buy what we have here. Like, I don't care how much money you have. You can buy the name METROFLEX. You can stock with the best equipment, but you can't replicate what we have in there.
No.
Everything in there when you walk in, that's authentic. This is an old diesel repair shop that's been converted into a gym. No plastic, all chain driven. Everything's hardcore. It's filthy. It's dirty. It's vulgar in there. But this is where God called us to. We actually started our church out of here for the first 6 months. We'd move weights around, we'd sit on benches, I'd share my story.
So you have a church outside of here?
Yeah, we outgrew it, and then down the road, I planted Forge Church about a couple blocks down the road. I've been doing that, and then, it's been crazy, just all the stories. So I finally now started, I've been being kind of pushed by my family, hey man, let's try to expand it a little bit. We're going to start a podcast come May 6th, we drop our podcast. It's going to be called Go and Tell. It's just the stories that I've been through, the stuff that I've done, and just trying to challenge more believers to stop sitting in little stupid church bubbles and be where people are in places like this.
Yeah.
Dirty, filthy, nasty places with uncomfortable people, and actually being transparent, honest about what you've been through. So that's kind of what we're doing come next month. The gym's finally going well. COVID was the best thing for us. We doubled our memberships when COVID hit because I was the only gym that stayed open. I was like, I'm not closing. There's just no way. Because I think I've heard you say this before. Fitness, I think it's essential. It's an essential business.
It's essential. You need it for mental health. You talk about everybody like, oh, you have a narcissist. Dude, if it wasn't for fitness, saved me in a different way.
Yeah.
It got me out of my community. Fitness through sports is what got me out of my situation. And I would not be able to function mentally. I'm a guy who has anger management issues and a lot of things, and you don't see that. I'm usually that happy guy who says, boom.
Anger issues, anger management, and that's why I think the gym is essential. I mean, for me, I want to curb stomp people. The gym helps with that. You shut that down, now you tell people like us, don't go anywhere, don't have an outlet, sit in your house. I mean, that's a death sentence for some of us.
And also, I'm not stupid. I understand that if you're not active, if you don't exercise, if you don't introduce yourself to germs, you're going to get sicker. So, I mean, I might not be an expert, I might not be Fauci with those little PhDs, but, at the end of the day, the people who are getting sick are mainly going to be obese people, and they're also going to have lower vitamin D levels. They're not outside enough. You can't, look, I built a gym onto my house. I'm very blessed. I literally have a separate building for a gym, and I still drive to the gym.
Why do you do that?
Because it's social interaction.
Yeah.
I feed up. I'll tell you what. We didn't stop. I kept traveling. I kept doing everything. I went everywhere I wanted to do. COVID did not affect my life. It did not affect my life. And the thing is, what happens is you get in your bubble and you're locked down. You're in your house. And it becomes routine. It takes 3 weeks to develop a habit, right? 15 days would have been fine. After 3 weeks, everybody's just used to being lazy, used to staying inside, used to being locked down. So their new habit is being stationary. And I'm sorry, have you ever tried to get excited training with your bands in your living room?
Dude, it's horrible.
I would rather be waterboarded every single day of my life by the Taliban than have to train in my house with bands. I'm sorry. I made a lot of money selling bands
even
too.
even having your own gym though, training in isolation is not great.
No, it's not.
Because when we had to shut down only for 3 weeks, we got other calls from gym owners who were kind of ticked off me, like, "Hey, you haven't shut down yet. Why aren't you shutting down?" I'm not. If I shut down, there's guys like me that are going to put a bullet in their mouth, right?
Amen.
But
Yes.
during that 3 weeks that we had to, I trained here by myself. Depressing
Horrible.
as hell, bro.
Horrible. We have
It was
that.
horrible. I hated it.
Matt's behind the camera. He knows these, but even when we train alone in our gym in Ohio, it's like I need energy.
Yeah.
And when we started, I'm like, all right, I took about a month and I stayed back. I'm like, I'm out. And there was an Aries Nutrition in New Jersey at a parking lot event in the height of the pandemic. Akeem was there. You know, all these guys were there.
That feel good?
Victor Martinez. So people loved it.
Yeah.
What I found is that, you know what, if you look, I'm all for people wearing masks and containing themselves and isolating. I don't give a crap what you do.
Sure.
But me, I need to get out, get interaction. There's a lot of people like me. In fact, about 53% of the population is just like me. They just want things to be whatever. Make your own choices, make your own decisions, you know? And my whole thing is, I don't have energy. I can't function unless I have other people's energy. I don't know if you saw there was a TV show, Heroes, where this guy would
I know
he'd kill other superpowers, and he'd get their powers. When I'm around people, when I have different energy, when I have different gym energy, I go to the boxing gym, I go to this gym, I go to METROFLEX, I literally absorb energy. I was finding myself, because we went to our gym, but it was closed down. But I found myself lacking energy throughout the day. My office work was going to hell. Everything was going to hell. And there's a lot of people like me. I feed off of people's positivity, people's energy. And now you have so much negativity out there. And everybody's so scared. And now we're afraid. And everybody's looking at each other like they're harnessing the bubonic plague within them. You can't smile at people. I think that is more detrimental.
Well, you don't see anything.
No.
Yeah, there's no emotional interaction.
It's burkas, man. They're making us wear burkas. That's not cool.
So we never had people wear masks in the gym.
Yeah.
During that whole thing, we're like, we wanted this to be that place where people like yourself, sounds a lot like how I am, could do what we needed to do. And because of that, it was a huge blessing because for 4 years, we never hit above 70 members in this gym. We're the only gym that's open. I don't have a Facebook page for this. I have a really crappy Instagram page for the gym. I don't do any marketing. I don't really understand how to do that for a gym. So word of mouth was like, hey, there's this gym that's still open, and we started having a flood of people come in.
People came in for probably an hour.
Dude, we had I don't know if they subscribe to yours, but big guy in the fitness industry, he's up in North Dakota. He drove here and got a hotel for a week just because we were the closest hardcore gym that was still open. I mean, people are driving states to come train us. We went from 73 members to 154 just during that horrible lockdown over like a 2-month period. And we've sustained them because they came in here like, oh, this is a legit gym. Like, we've never heard of you. I'm like, yeah, well, I suck at doing this, but it's a great gym. And all of a sudden now we got tons of members, and it's like you talk about feeding off that energy. When we walk back in there, you're gonna see it. It's different.
I can hear it. I can hear it. And there's certain gyms like I can't train at certain gyms. I can't get into any kind of zone. And we have a gym that we belong to, but sometimes it's a smaller gym. It's like more of a studio. So we have a membership to a gym across the street because there's more people, and there's the music. Again, like there's a hardcore gym shortage some places, but
well, what I've started seeing though is also now everybody wants to have a hardcore gym. Dude, you can't manufacture that. You can't buy it. It's authentic. It's got to be organic. Yeah. Everything back there, I mean, it's real. It's authentic. There's nothing fabricated. You can't buy that. So when we go back in, I think you're just the history, you're around some of these pieces of equipment that dudes have been training on for 40 years. I mean, there's life in this place, and it's fun.
Very few gyms like that now. There are some, like you out towards La Crosse, Iron Physique does a pretty good job. They're like 3 hours away, like far. Yeah. He does a good job keeping it. Like he has some old stuff there.
He's got a separate area for like hardcore stuff, I think.
I mean, he has this. There you go. I'm good with kids. I got like 12 of them.
Okay.
Actually 3, but they feel like 12.
I was like,
Yelling aloud. Chalk weights. Use chalk. Oh, yes.
So any piece of my gym that's chrome or blue is first or second gen Nautilus. Now, what I think is cool is if you take a look, back when Nautilus used to be a medical industry.
Yeah.
Because Art Jones was a doctor. What was so cool about the guy, aside from the fact that he wrestled gorillas and had pet animals, exotic animals, he was a medical doctor, so he understood biomechanics of human body, right? But he also was an engineer and an inventor. So putting all three of those together, it was ingenious what he makes. So his equipment, man, if you've never been on some of this stuff, it's brilliant.
See, look, chain driven.
Yeah.
Like a really good bicycle. Think about that versus just plastic.
Well, the difference with chains is if you go cables, you go heavy, right? There's sometimes a rebound, but also the strength curve is different. One, you can go as hard and fast as you want with the chains. That was his concept, was he wanted explosive, fast movement without having that, you pull, you have the, you have that whatever the whoop.
Yeah. It's the whoop effect.
You don't get that here. And the other part is, everything that he did, he used the cam. You'll see that all the time. So the cams, what it does, it makes it so the strength curve doesn't ever get weak. So sometimes when you're doing like a leg press, it's hard here, it's easy at the top. You get that same resistance in the whole one. So this is an incline chest fly, 150. So I was like, not only do I want to go past 150, but I want to have the heaviest dumbbells of any gym in America. So I found out that there was a gym, I think Strength Cartel went a while ago, and it had like a big vault. You open the vault door, and they had like 225s. I was like, all right, well, I'm building custom 250s. And not like the fake kind, I'm gonna get real ones. So,
oh my God.
So I named it after Brian Dobson.
As I am.
Yeah, it's like a really fat, heavy toddler. Nobody's used them yet, nobody's rode them. I got a standing offer. You can get a free membership in my gym. Free membership for life if you can come press these.
That's not happening.
Just one time.
I tear every pec, every tendon.
So yeah, we have enough dumbbells. I mean, I don't want anybody to say, man, we just don't have enough weight here.
It's net neutral. It doesn't do shit for your nervous system. It might even help increase your muscle recovery.
Hey, there we go. Show him up, show him up. Dill, I'd say you get the quad, but you know, lift off.
Ready? 1, 2.
Yep.
Go, buddy.
We're going 3 at least. Got it? Hook. Hook. That's all your bud.
Man, this workout is taking forever. I need an intra-workout snack. I always snack intra-workout. Not the only time I do this, but multiple body parts. If I'm feeling hungry, I'm down an outright bar.
Me?
Let's go, Tom. Get your head right.
Go, baby. Let's go.
Come on, Tom.
Let's go.
Come on, Tom. Come on. Pull it. Pull it. Pull it.
Let's go. Let's go.
Come on, baby. Atta boy. Come on. Move.
Holy
Move. Easy, buddy. Done. Let's go. One more. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. Pull it. Let's go. Come on.
Get it, Tommy.
Let's go. There you go. Come on. Come on. Yeah. Let's go. Let's go.
Come on, let's go, baby. Eat that shit. Hey.
Country strong. That's country strong. That's country strong right there, man.
Still natty, too.
Not me.
250s for now. 250s.
You weren't? My turn.